So, you're looking to build a better relationship with your dog and just make life in Dubuque a little easier and more fun for both of you. Well, finding the right trainer is absolutely the way to go. Let's walk through exactly how to find the perfect one. I mean, just picture it for a second. A nice, peaceful walk right along the river, or maybe you're relaxing on a patio in the historic Millwork district, and your dog is just chilling, not pulling or lunging at everything. Believe me, this is totally possible. And getting the right professional guidance is the very first step to making that your everyday reality. Okay, so before you even start searching, it really helps to know what you're looking for. A great trainer, a really effective one, has a solid foundation in humane, modern training methods. Let's break down what that actually means. The absolute best approach in modern dog training is what's called positive reinforcement. So instead of focusing on correcting bad behavior, the whole idea is to teach your dog what you want them to do, and then reward them for it. It's simple, really. This method doesn't just get results, it builds an incredible, trusting bond between you two. Now, on the flip side, it is just as important to know what to avoid. If you hear a trainer talking about using fear, intimidation, or any kind of physical punishment, run the other way. That kind of stuff can actually create even more behavior problems down the road and seriously damage your relationship. Good training should never, ever cause your dog pain or make them anxious. Here's a big thing to know. Iowa doesn't actually require trainers to be licensed, so certifications are your best guide to figuring out who's a real professional. For general stuff like manners and basic obedience, look for a CPDT. If you're dealing with more serious issues like major anxiety or aggression, you'll want someone with a CDBC. These letters show that a trainer is serious about their education and professional standards. Okay, once you know what a good trainer looks and sounds like, the next step is finding a program that actually works for your dog, your goals, and, of course, your budget. So let's look at the different options you'll find out there. Choosing the right setting is a huge part of this. Group classes are awesome for practicing focus with all sorts of distractions around. Perfect for getting your dog ready for a walk through the Millwork district. But for those problems that only happen at home, like barking at the mailman or jumping on your guests, private lessons give you that one-on-one help right where the problem occurs. All right, let's talk about the cost. This chart gives you a really solid idea of what to budget for training right here in Dubuque. A 6-week group class is usually the most affordable way to get started. On the other end, something more intensive like a board and train program is obviously a much bigger investment. Knowing these averages helps you figure out what makes sense for you. So you've found a few trainers that look promising. Now what? Well, now it's time to interview them. And being ready with the right questions will give you all the confidence you need to pick the absolute best person for your family. Knowing what to ask can tell you pretty much everything about a trainer's methods, their experience, and their whole vibe. This is how you make sure you're hiring the right person for you and your dog. So here's your cheat sheet. You want to start by asking about their training philosophy. You're listening for the magic words, positive reinforcement. Then ask about their certifications. A great trainer should also be able to tailor a plan just for your dog and your specific goals, and they should be able to clearly explain how they'll track progress. And finally, especially for bigger behavior issues, make sure they're willing to work with your vet. Okay, now let's talk about taking all these new skills out into the real world. Knowing the local rules here in Dubuque and the best spots to go practice is going to make all the difference. Here is a simple but really important local rule to remember. In Dubuque, when you're in a public area, your leash can't be longer than 10 feet. So all that practice you're doing on a standard 6-foot leash isn't just about being polite and having good manners. It's actually the law. Here are the key local rules every dog owner should know. So besides that leash law, you have to have proof of a current rabies vaccination. But here's some good news, you don't need a separate license for Dubuque County. And also keep in mind that excessive barking can be considered a public nuisance, which is another great reason training can help keep things peaceful with your neighbors. Looking for some good places to practice that polite walking? You've got some great options. The Heritage Trail is perfect for practicing around distractions like bikers and other people walking. The Mississippi Riverwalk is great for when you want to practice around even more people, and the Arboretum offers a much calmer setting to really work on focus. Now, when it's time for some off-leash fun, maybe to practice that super important recall skill or just let your dog run, remember, off-leash is only allowed in designated fenced areas. The Dubuque Dog Park and Pets Park are your go-to spots for safe, legal off-leash freedom. By focusing on positive methods, checking those credentials, and asking the right questions, you're going to find the perfect trainer in Dubuque. Happy training, and I hope you enjoy all of the amazing moments you're going to have with your confident, well-behaved dog as you explore everything this beautiful city has to offer.